21 days without no women. Sometimes they do bring women in there in those main camps. Like I said, I have first-hand knowledge of some of my fellow employees doing stuff like that. So I don't want that environment around my daughter to be 12 years old. I'm in the process of moving the $250,000 home next year. And I had second thoughts if we have a man camp, because the safety of my daughter. Biggest thing also that I've heard is the drainage. Yeah, it's gonna get moved up. And these pictures that y'all have on this road in the back, take right here. I built that road, as it is right now, it gets washed off and the drainage goes this way.
Is your place?
Yeah, back here, that's my house. I'm buying this property, I'm buying some more.
Did you come in from where?
From here, the 21. So I come in here. Flores Court. So I built that, I put a 12 by 18 drainage, which washes out. Right now, back in my truck, I got railroad ties to help contain the water, because my road's getting washed out. So now, it washes this way, I'm gonna get water cruise that way also. So I'll have double the problem like this way. My biggest concern is I don't want a handicap next to my house. Call it a mobile home, modular home. You know, I've been out there, I know what it is.
Okay, man. Thank you. That's everyone that's signed in. Is there anybody else here maybe came in late?
James, oh yeah?
Sarah, if you could sign this, please. Get your 5 minutes.
Cindy, do I need to sign in if I want to respond on that just real quick?
No, you'll be on,
Okay.
you're on the phone. This part is the public hearing part where the public gets to come in and say their piece.
Can I see the map of where the area exactly is being built?
The one that's highlighted in yellow.
James.
Okay, and Texaloy is, yes,
Texaloy would be more over there. It's right there.
and Flores Court's right here.
Yes.
Sir, did you want
I'm
to speak?
sorry, yeah.
Did you want to speak?
Yeah.
This
I
is-
want to know
this
what
is
as far
public
as
hearing part.
utilities and the infrastructure, basically, my property itself, I can't get no fire
Where are you? He's in the
on
back.
ground lane,
He's
right
here.
adjacent,
It's, I believe right here, right?
right here.
How many acres do you
I
have?
have 2 acres, and then my grandmother's got 2 acres, and my uncle's got 2 acres. We weren't able to get anything.
Yeah, and your property fronts Brown Lane, you said?
It's supposed to be Brown Lane.
But is it locked? Yeah, I remember, I know who you are, I remember your property.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, I got an address of 924 Plum Street, but I have no access to my property. For the past 10 years, we've been dealing with this situation. Now, are we gonna get some type of anything further back?
I couldn't
Or is
tell
this
you
just
at
gonna
this
stop
time.
right here?
You were sent a letter because your property was within 200, yes, of the property for the proposed manufactured park.
Are you asking if the road on Forest Court is gonna go back to your property?
Am I gonna get a road, period? That's what I
Are you
want to know.
asking, right now, are you pointing to Forest?
No, I need to know exactly where this, we were talking about is. To see if there's gonna be any type of access
To water or
to anything. I mean, if I'm out there mowing on a tractor, am I gonna be able to get fire truck out there, EMS, anything, police, anybody or anything back there?
That's a good point.
You know, I mean, this is Floresville, we're not supposed to have landlocked.
Exactly.
Because that Forest Court ends where my brother finished it off, but then my property is in the back, like boundary with y'all, and then his property that he just bought recently is also next to it. But our road is not a public road.
Oh, no, I never said that. I'm just wondering if we're gonna have any type of anything back. That's the only reason I'm here. I need to find simple solutions, I guess, you know, I mean,
And you bring up a good question. And that's part of planning.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's just,
And that's the thing that we should be considering long term.
I mean, I've owned that property for years already. It seems like nothing can get done back there. And I'm paying taxes and I can't sell it because it's landlocked.
How do you get to the property?
Possibly with a helicopter or, I come into Brown Lane and I go over sand and, well, I really don't. I just walk out there or I get back there with a tractor, a four-wheel drive tractor. And even that, I've gotten stuck because of tires. People from, when they built the freight cars and stuff, we went to the deal. And same thing, litter, everything was supposed to get picked up. Now we got tires, we got all sorts of junk back there. And, you know, I mean, nobody's there to clean it up. But still, I mean, I'm just wondering, is there any type of anything that we able to be done for?
There's nothing in this proposal that will help you resolve.
All right.
Thank you. Okay, if there's no one else to speak on at the public hearing related to this topic, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing part of this. And we'll go on to item C, the new business, and it is consideration and action to approve a special use permit at property of 624 4th Street for the purpose of establishing a mobile home park. And this is your part.
Okay, just to put some of them at ease, we've done all the engineering on the watershed calculations, everything's been drawn up on all that. This is not something that is ever, or has ever been oil field related. I purchased this property nearly 5 years ago with the intention of doing exactly what I'm doing. It just takes a long time when you're a small guy to get the funding together, get all the procedures in order. And yes, I've gambled every single dime and every bit of my livelihood to try and make this fly. My invoices for engineering exceed $10,000. This is all personal money out of my pocket. I've had plans on this for well over a year, and I've tried to follow all the rules and do everything accordingly. This is not something that I want to be in any way have a negative impact on this community. I was born and raised here. Don't take that lightly. Everything that we're putting in there, we're doing with, the best class that we can. The lots are nearly city-sized lots. They're very large lots, 65 to 85 feet in width by 110 feet in length, nearly a city-sized lot. Every home that's going in there is a brand-new mobile home. It was never designed to meet the oil field. I did not want to gamble in that area because when they're gone, we still have to have a product here that's going to continue to provide an income. We already have a rental market that's already been in shortage prior to the oil field boom. That was really what I mainly wanted to address. With the issues of any of the drainage going, which would be south of there, it can't go south. There is a berm coming into it. We've taken all that consideration. Winston Schaefer is the one that has some valid points in some of that. It would need to be cleaned up near the city. What he's talking about, the flooding did occur. That was when we had, I believe, 8.5 inches in one day. Other than that, we've never had standing rain. That is something that's going to be addressed, all that, and I'd be willing to show you personally outside of this if you want, and work with you on that if that would be something, we would need to do, which is irrelevant to this, but, something to, keep that from happening. None of this is floodplain. Everything we've done in there has taken all the watershed calculations into it. They are well in advance and exceed all that. That's basically the things that I can tell you to try and put you at ease with that. The tax base coming off of this would be tremendous for Floresville, but again, that's not something that I want to use for leverage, Man camp, yeah, it's, we're going to provide housing for those who are most well suited to pay for it. I don't want the scum of the earth coming in here who cannot pay their bills and want to tear my houses up. We want to do something beneficial for the community here, and that means trying to get the best renters in there that we can.
I have a question for Mr. Schaefer.
Yes. Okay.
The pictures that you showed us where you had the watermarks on your
Yes.
building, was that from just this last rain?
That was April, and but it's happened 4 or 5 times since I've lived there. It's
Okay,
not the
that was
first
my
time
discussion.
that it happened. Now, that was the worst, that it actually flooded. But again, every time it rains, a substantial rain, the few years I've lived there, I get at least 1 foot to 2 foot of standing water in the back. I'm not sure how he's gonna be able to contain that much water when I've got 3 acres and a good acre of my land is 1 to 2 feet underwater. I
Well,
mean,
the
that's-
problem
that's a
is
lot
it's
of water.
dumping from my place and taking 47 acres of watershed and condensing it onto your property before it has a chance to get out of there. You're the funnel on that.
Yeah.
And it's backing up on you.
Yep.
Because that channel has not been cleared from your property through the channel. It's gonna continue to do that whether I develop or not. What I'm developing in there will actually improve the situation. However, from your point, from that fence this way, would have to be addressed separately. Now, there's nothing we can do on that. What we're doing is actually the most beneficial thing we can do for the watershed.
Well, again, my issue was, granted, I'm concerned, I bought the property, I was gonna build a house there. Then I realized in the first rain, within the first year I lived there, I had all the water in the back. I
Right.
couldn't do anything. Also, utilities never reached to the back of the property, so there was nothing I could do. My concern really is if you build something over there and you can't control that water, you're going to flood all the cars. Maybe the mobile homes may be high, but anybody that's parked underneath there is gonna be underwater. That is a substantial amount of water that comes through there. I mean, substantial. I mean, when you're talking 3 to 4 foot of water running across an acre of my land, or 2 acres of my land, then that's a lot of water to be contained. I mean, you're talking hundreds of thousands of gallons of water. So, yeah.
Cindy, engineers,
I sent out an email this afternoon, and you have one in your packet. Heimer does make a comment on there. The comment, and I'll read it to you straight off from him. The information submitted by Mr. Martinez, who's the engineer for Mr. Sicily, has addressed my previous comments. Mr. Martinez has provided calculations indicating that the 2 proposed low water crossings will meet the safe crossing criteria used by the city of San Antonio. The depth of flow across the street crossings from a 25-year storm event has been calculated to be 0.63 feet, or about 7.5 inches deep, with a velocity of 4.45 FPS, which according to the city center is not considered dangerous or
what's he
unsafe.
considering, what's he talking about?
He's talking about that low water crossing that
Do
they're
you want,
putting in
do
their
you need a plan?
Yeah, they're putting in their plan. And then he said that they'll,
Okay.
yeah, he's creating I guess what you call what I want to call it a drainage.
Trapezoidal earthen channel.
Can I make one more comment? I had a 500-year floodplain done on my property because the city of Floresville said I had to get it done. And when I did that, it said I basically meet the 500-year floodplain requirements. But then it rained and it's all flooded. So if you're using a 500-year floodplain that's not working, I mean, I can probably go get the survey and show you that it's signed off that it meets that requirement. But when you're getting water off of that Longhorn Drive, the people behind us, it drains into there too. You're almost draining a good, like you said, 47 acres. You're draining 47 acres into one little area. I'm just putting in 7-inch high water traps or whatever so you can drive through it. So you basically you're admitting that you're gonna have 7 inches of water running across the road. That's what's being.
That's based on worst case scenario on that, but that's actually 1.5 foot deep minimum. You got 3 foot sidewalls on your channels that keeps that out of there. But the issue that you're having is basically that channel's not cleared further down because it's backing up, and that's where you're getting the issues, not from what's being shed onto there. It's just that it's not having the velocity that it needs to continue to disperse. That's the issue.
Now, if you're wrong, then you're gonna flood all 181 out, which is the loop.
Well, I don't see how it's gonna flood 181 out when it's not doing that presently, and what we're doing would only improve it.
The 181 loop that I live on, it almost comes up over top of the road now. I mean, if you're improving it, okay, I don't know, I don't have the engineering, I didn't see it. I just know what I have now.
And personally, I'll be willing to help you out on whatever we need to do on that, if that's the issue that you're concerned with.
So your comment is that when you're right there in 181 loop.
Yeah, I'm right beside him, I'm in the lowest spot in that entire road.
He's receiving what's coming off my property.
And
Well, what
we
you're-
received
you've been
from
thinking that the water doesn't drain under 181 at the culvert fast enough.
Correct.
And it just builds up.
Correct.
It just builds up there.
Yeah, I try to keep that culvert clean as much as I can, because the city doesn't maintain that culvert. She's right about that. They don't maintain it.
The city doesn't maintain the culvert because that's a state highway.
Yeah, it's next stop.
It's next stop.
Well,
It's the
except
highway
this,
department.
no, except the city agreed to cut the grass along that area. In fact, they still do.
We'll maintain the lawns, but the culverts, that's
Okay.
still tech stop.
All right, because nobody's maintaining that. Somebody, the Phelps came in and they actually cut all the trees out of there. That was the last thing that happened. And that was a year ago.
You have any questions? You have any more comments?
We have the actual location of the property sorted out.
Oh, yes, Paul, do you have, because earlier I called you and you said you were gonna have the,
Yeah, what I've got here, that I think you have, which is the old survey here, this shows,
actually, I looked in your pack and the stuff that you gave me, I did.
you didn't have that one? Okay. And if we need to, we can establish a new survey. That's just what we have right now. It really should be, it really shouldn't matter. Once we start, you know, if we're able to move past this process here, I don't have a problem going ahead and establishing a new survey and having that redone if we need to prior to any construction, you know, just to make sure that there's no issues there. But we have basically here as well, showing all the meets and bounds on this property as well as this.